With everything out of the car, the next step is figure out how everything is going to be put back into the car. Well, before I do that, I need to work on making a mount for the tweeter and a mount for the 6.5 in the door. That means it's laser time.
Now that we pull the speaker out and we find that the speaker bracket doesn't have foam, we're gonna go and put some foam in front and back, put our fuzz ring, and screw the speaker back on. We're gonna go and put our fuzz rings, but before that, I have some scrap roadkill that we can use in case in the future he wanna go crazy and roadkill the whole door. We don't have to waste the back foam from the fuzz rings. The best way to find out if your fuzz ring is gonna hit the window every time we roll it up and down is to grab it, put it in the back, and carefully roll the window down. Now you can see it's gonna hit the foam. What we're gonna do, we're gonna cut like a 1/4 inch from the foam. Test it. Now we know it's free. Peel the paper. Now for the second piece, we're gonna do the same thing. This one is free. Now we can peel the paper. Make sure to squeeze the fuzz rings so they actually glue attached to the speaker bracket. What they did before, they put the wire crushing with the speaker bracket. We just make our hole, we come through here, and everybody's gonna be happy. I'm gonna solder my wires and put a quick disconnects on the factory wire. If they wanna take it out, they can disconnect it and pull the whole bracket out. Let's go to the bench. Now we put red and black heat shrink factory wiring, so whoever is gonna take this door panel out or the speaker, if they're gonna do anything, they know which one is positive and which one is negative. Now let's put the final piece. We make a cut for our wire. I always try to go behind the screw so we can have access to it. Now the next step is make sure to put the door panel and make sure it doesn't hit the foam or fall the foam into the speaker. We have plenty of space. What I'm going to do is cut this plastic around the speaker so we got more room. You can go and put the door panel back on. I'm gonna jump into the rear door. I normally start in the fronts, but because Dean is gonna start working on amplifiers, take everything out, I rather to do that right now that he's not here. As soon as I'm done with the rears, I can move in the fronts and he can work in the backs.
The front doors, we're going to replace them with the Flax EVO PS165 FXE. These are the brand new, just released Focal Flax series speakers. One of the big differences on the new version is of course the tweeter has a whole new design, a new material. The mid bass has also been updated. One of the key things in that is the new surround. And then we have the passive crossovers. The passive crossovers can be used as 2-channel input and 4-channel output, meaning to the tweeter to the mid, or they're bi-amp capable, meaning you can run a channel in for the tweeters, a channel in for the mid, and then out to tweeter, out to mid. As far as mounting options go, they have this back trim ring here and an angle mount. This flush here is also removable around the tweeter, so you can get to the core tweeter itself. You can also pull off the grill if you want, and you can see that new sexy epoxy tweeter there. When working with the tweeter until you're done, I suggest leaving that grill on there. This is the A-pillar we're going to be designing a speaker pod for. Now normally we'd take off the factory one, we'd scan it in and yay, but we don't have that luxury on this one. We do have the new tweeter, of course. Fortunately for us, we've done enough of these that we are actually already have the basic shape downloaded into the computer. And we have our F150 tweeter here. This is our basic shape for it. Anytime we're going to be making a new version of it, I like to make a duplicate, label it, and we can just close our old version of the tweeter. We need to take a look at characteristics of this tweeter, see how it is going to fit into the door. This tweeter has this new shape to it where it actually sticks out pretty far, so being able to mount the tweeter from behind might be a better option. That way we can take this grill off. The reason why we want to take this grill off is so we don't have two grills. If you twist the grill over the grill, you'll see at certain places it actually blocks the grill. Being able to remove it would be a benefit. What I'm thinking is our standard shape here, but then a second piece that's going to be on the inside of it so that this tweeter will slide through and lay into it. That means that the first hole needs to be the size of this outside ring. So we'll take that measurement. If we select the center point, that will shrink this circle into that center point. This new circumference will be centered where it was previously, but just be our new smaller size. Now that means that this tweeter should go into there. What we need next is something a little bit thinner. Once we have the two circles drawn, this will be our mount. This will sit on top of this circle here. We can glue those two together and our tweeter will sit inside of them. Now I know looking at pictures like that, it sounds really, okay, what's going on? Let's just export it, print out mock-up, and see if it all fits. Once it's all set and ready to go on the Glowforge, just press the white button that's blinking and away she goes. She's gonna start burning out what we've just drawn on the computer over there. For this, we're just using 1/8 inch MDF. That'll give us the basic shape that we need before we cut it out of acrylic. Take it over and test fit it. But I want to stack them like this. So you can see the one is just a tad bit smaller. And that's what I'm going for right there. This should just come in that outside circle. This will just go through that. The inside circle will stop just like the grill, and that'll keep it sitting, and then the two will go, if everything goes according to plan. This will sit in there just like this, and our tweeter will be nice and far away and safe. Now I can cut these out of acrylic and get them glued together, and we'll have our tweeter mounts. So I changed up the layout just a little bit. So we still have the front, but how we're gonna attach the tweeter is the front piece will be glued to the back piece, or the middle piece now. And then there's a second piece which has the same hole as this. It's gonna clamp all three pieces together and hold the tweeter in place. This back piece and these two won't be glued together, they'll just be held together with the screws. The first step is to glue the two rings together. Now before it sets up, I want to test fit the tweeter, make sure everything is good. Now it takes a couple minutes to dry. This one I've already glued up. To peel the paper off the acrylic using another piece of acrylic works really well. Set the tweeter inside, it'll go flush. Take our back piece and that will hold our tweeter in place. Not gonna go anywhere. This back hole is the same size as that front hole, so that is locking that tweeter in. Now when we put these two screws in, everything will stay put into the car. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna add a little bit of foam to this, so when the two go together it makes a really tight bond and holds that tweeter nice and tight in place. For foam, we're going to use our 1/16 inch, 1/4 inch width foam. Wrap it around the outside of the back mount of the tweeter, getting it as close to that lip as possible. Grab our front plate. That part here is on top. We want to rotate it so our wires are facing down. Grab our lock for the back, set it over the tweeter and gently push. That will compress that foam into place and give us a nice solid mount. Grab the two factory factory screws. And there we go. We have our tweeter mount all in place. Now I'm gonna pull this back off because I wanna add some foam to the front to push all that sound into this grill so that none of it gets lost behind here. Now just like when you're putting a fast string in the car, you gotta be careful with the foam. You don't want the foam to roll over the speaker. That'll cause the speaker to blow. On this side here is a lot closer to the tweeter. Kind of fan it out like a flower and then test it a little bit. This is way too close for comfort. If you have a bright light, you can look at it from the front to make sure that none of the foam rolled in. If you're happy with your work, screw it back into place. Fernando will go ahead and dress up the rest of this and put our ends on it, but now we have a tweeter mount.